Your thoughts on Manny Pacquiao's retirement?
One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing. Was an ultimate champion. And I have to tell you, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth.
I love Mayweather. I think Manny Pacquiao whooped Mayweather today. Manny Pacquiao in his prime was throwing damn near 100 punches per round. No other fighter could do that, and he wasn't on steroids. Manny Pacquiao all day.
I might not be as fast as I was when I was 30, but I'm still fast enough to break your nose or do some damage to you.
Yeah, and for Manny, it wasn't so much the power, it was the speed and the accuracy and the 2 or 3 punches in a row that just...
Stephen A. Smith breaks down why Pacquiao would dominate Mayweather in a rematch. He calls Manny Pacquiao the ultimate warrior and a true icon of boxing, respected since the start of his career. Smith highlighted Manny's explosive speed, sharp technique, and fight-ending power, stressing that these qualities remain alive even at age 46. In his eyes, Pacquiao's current form makes him more dangerous than ever, and if he stepped back into the ring with Mayweather, the result would be overwhelming.
One of the greatest fighters we've ever seen. Never ran from anybody. Had completely respected the sport of boxing. Was an ultimate champion. And I have to tell you, one of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet on the planet Earth. I mean, when people... I want to say this real quick because I know we got to go because we got one more thing to discuss, Marcus.
Yeah.
When people talk about Manny Pacquiao and they say stuff like, well, he's fighting for money. I would like y'all to know that there are people who line up in the streets of the Philippines just to come get some money from him. He's very charitable.
Oh, yeah.
That's why money was compromising, because he's a giver. He's a special dude. I'm going to miss him.
Charleston White didn't mince words when speaking on the rivalry between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. He claimed that during Pacquiao's prime, Floyd steered clear of him not for strategy, but out of fear. White described how destructive Pacquiao was at his peak. Lightning-fast combos, relentless movement, and raw grit made him a nightmare opponent. He argued Floyd's accusations of steroid use were just excuses to delay the inevitable showdown. Instead of meeting Manny at his best, Mayweather waited. White's remarks fueled the ongoing narrative that Floyd avoided risking his perfect record against a fully powered Pacquiao.
Story of redemption.
Absolutely. Somebody we remember forever. No doubt, man. With Charleston, we'll let you get back to your
Can't forget
business.
about the George Foreman grill. Yeah, can't forget about that grill, the George Foreman grill.
It taught many people
Taught a
to learn
nigga how to
cook
make
on
burgers
that.
without being messy.
Definitely an important thing, that George Foreman grill, bro. Without question, man. What's your best memory of Manny Pacquiao? Watching Manny fight over the years, what was your best memory of him?
I love Mayweather. But Mayweather avoided him for all those years, accusing him of being on steroids, and he never tested positive for steroids. He was like a machine. Yeah, homie. So if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the only fighters, homie, that threw over 100-something plus rounds, punches per round. So he was like a machine, homie, hard to beat.
Age has always been a hot debate in boxing, and with Pacquiao and Mayweather, it's even more relevant. Many wrote off a rematch, thinking both legends were past their time. But Pacquiao's recent clash with Mario Barrios flipped the script. His speed, stamina, and reaction stunned doubters. Suddenly, the thought of Floyd stepping into the ring with this version of Manny doesn't seem far-fetched. Fans are no longer imagining two faded fighters, but wondering if Mayweather would dare face an older, yet still dangerous Pacquiao. Slowly but surely, the pressure is building once again.
Hanging in the air like a jab. What's next for the Pac-Man? There's a growing chant for a Floyd rematch. And you know what? I wouldn't hate it. Two legends, both past their peak, but still dangerous, still proud, still built for the lights. Only thing is, after what Manny just showed, not sure Floyd wants that smoke.
Since making his return, Pacquiao hasn't hesitated to call out Mayweather. In every interview and appearance, he makes it clear he's ready. No mind games, no stalling, just a straight-up challenge. Manny insists the choice rests entirely with Floyd. This attitude reflects his competitive fire. Pacquiao believes he can still perform at the highest level, and he's proving it through action. What once felt impossible now looks within reach, and Pacquiao stands waiting, gloves laced, daring Mayweather to step forward.
The boxing world is buzzing with excitement as Manny Pacquiao gears up for his showdown with WBC welterweight champ Mario Barrios. But that's not all. There's talk of a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather. Pacquiao's not holding back, saying Mayweather's been ducking him. He wants a real fight, not just an exhibition. Can you imagine the hype if this happens? It could be worth billions. But first, Pacman's got to handle business this Saturday. If he wins, will it force Mayweather to step up, or will Barrios spoil the party? One thing's for sure, the line of fighters wanting a piece of Pacquiao will be long if he comes out on top. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.
Renowned trainer Abel Sanchez offered insight into why Pacquiao is still so effective. He explained Manny's brilliance isn't about raw strength, but his unmatched ability to land crisp, accurate punches at blinding speed. Even after 4 years away, Pacquiao returned with timing and rhythm that impressed elite coaches. Sanchez pointed out that Manny's conditioning and hand-eye coordination remain intact. These fundamentals are the foundation of his longevity. While others fade with age, Pacquiao's style endures. Sanchez's analysis only strengthens the case that Manny is still among the best.
It didn't seem like Barrios wanted to hurt Manny, and maybe it's the respect. Maybe the greatness was, he was in the ring with greatness and didn't want to do anything dumb.
Yeah, like I spoke to Bob after the fight, who's the trainer of Barrios, and he was telling me he was getting on Mario's ass about that. Like he felt like he was being too nice, and he told him that you got to take it to him, man. Like leave all that crap outside. Like you be mean, you got to take it to him.
Yeah, but you know what? We are on the outside. We're not taking near a lick as a coach.
Yeah.
He's in there with a great legend, and he's in there with somebody that can punch and somebody that can fight. So his mentality and his sentiment and what he sees there is a hell of a lot different than what we see on the outside. All we can do is try to encourage our guys, but we're not taking any punches.
Yeah, and there was flashes of the old Pacquiao there, though.
At times.
Yeah, at times.
Yeah.
Obviously not like before, but, his patent jab straight and then come up top was there. It landed a few times. In the first round, he landed a straight like almost right away. I felt to kind of show Mario like, hey, I might not be as fast as I was when I was 30, but I'm still fast enough to break your nose or do some damage to you.
Yeah, and for Manny, it wasn't so much the power; it was the speed and the accuracy and the 2 or 3 punches in a row that put you in trouble. So maybe Barrios was not going to have any of that. Who knows? But again, it didn't look like the kind of fight that puts people on the edge of the seats.
Just covering Pacquiao's career for as long as I have, there was a few things that I noticed. Like I felt like at times, and maybe this will get better now that he's, doing he said that he's going to come back, that he's eyeing maybe October, November this year to come back again in another fight. He's more consistent. I know when you're older, it's like the old saying, like, you got to use it so you don't lose it,
Right.
Even without the official win over Barrios, Pacquiao's performance reignited major debates about his abilities. Many fans and analysts felt the judges got it wrong, insisting Manny deserved the decision. But beyond the scorecards, his display proved he could still challenge Mayweather. The belt no longer mattered. It was about the eye test. Pacquiao looked quicker, sharper, and more determined. The question isn't about age anymore, but pure ability. And this version of Pacquiao has shown enough to convince many that not only is a rematch possible, it's winnable.
Oh, Barrios and Manny thing, y'all don't see what the bigger picture is? Y'all don't think we're going to get a Mayweather 2 coming soon? Y'all don't think so? Because you do know Barrios is the ultimate company man.
Oh.
Mayweather
Pac 2? Yeah, I don't see that. I'm more on the Tank. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I think that Tank gets the fight.
That's what I've been saying. I said I'm going to stand on it that if Manny Pacquiao pulls this off and gets that belt, Floyd Mayweather's coming out of retirement.
Not every reaction has supported the idea of a rematch. A large section of the boxing community wants both fighters' legacies preserved. For them, seeing two aging legends square off again would feel bittersweet. Watching either Mayweather or Pacquiao lose could taint the perfect memory of their prime. Nostalgia runs deep in boxing, and for these fans, history should remain untouched. The thought of one icon defeating the other in a final chapter is difficult to accept. For them, Preserving greatness matters more than creating new drama.
See a Pacquiao versus Mayweather too. The first fight was a decade ago, and it took too long to happen. And now they both, it's just like, come on, bro. We just trying to squeeze the life out of boxing for real. Y'all want to watch two senior citizens spar? Because they both pushing 50. And the thing that will make it the most disappointing to me is that we should have had this when they were in their primes. And the fact that if they're trying to fight now, it's just a money grab. They just know they can both get a nice check from it. And why not? That would be the only reason, because they pushed this off so many times. Y'all, a lot of y'all wasn't alive back then. Y'all wasn't outside. This was the discussion in boxing for a good 6-year stretch. Is when would Floyd Mayweather fight Manny Pacquiao? Is Pacquiao juiced? Floyd's ducking everybody who's actually good. He doesn't want to fight anybody in their prime. This was the talk about, this was the boxing talk for almost a decade. And the fact that they would come back and do it now, it makes me so mad, because I already know people would watch. It would get the views, but it's just going to be disappointing because the first fight was disappointing.
Roy Jones Jr., a legend in his own right, stirred conversation when he left Mayweather off his all-time greats list. His reasoning wasn't about Floyd's spotless record, but about the level of competition. Jones argued that Mayweather often sidestepped the toughest opponents at their peak. While his resume carries big names, many were either past their best or not considered true threats when they met him. This critique strengthens a claim that Floyd's legacy isn't untouchable, especially when compared to Pacquiao, who consistently sought the hardest challenges.
Jones Jr. says Floyd Mayweather isn't in his top 5 boxers of all time because Floyd never fought a boxer that was his equal, and reveals he's still open to fighting Floyd in a boxing match. Look, man, Roy, you sounding real desperate, dog. Because Floyd didn't have Ali as his #1 fighter of all time. I hope you guys understand. This all stems from Floyd saying Ali wasn't the GOAT. Relax, Roy. We get it. You just overwhelmingly love Muhammad Ali for some reason. I don't care if you got Floyd top 5 or not. Floyd's my #2. I feel like if he's not top 5, your list is already trash. But all I know is he's way above Roy Jones Jr. Roy was a PDG who got exposed when he had to get off him. And he didn't fight nobody. Roy's resume's empty. It's a skeleton. We got James Toney. Outside of that, it's nobody legendary on his resume outside of Toney that I could think of. Roy was a great fighter, one of the highest peaks in modern boxing history for sure. But the guy, at the end of the day, he didn't fight nobody. I'm cool with Roy saying Floyd ain't top 5, but as long as he don't got himself in that top 5, we all good. You guys let me know how y'all feel about this. I think Roy Jones looks really desperate. I think he really is seeking attention from Floyd. It's getting really bad.
The road to their 2015 fight was filled with failed negotiations and bitter accusations. For years, both camps pointed fingers over why it didn't happen sooner. Talks collapsed repeatedly over drug testing, revenue splits, and TV deals. Pacquiao eventually agreed to nearly every demand, but fans felt Mayweather was the main reason for the delays. One of the most common theories in boxing circles is that Floyd has no interest in a rematch because it puts his perfect record at risk.
In boxing, I do think that Pacquiao was willing to face Mayweather in this situation. He just didn't want to agree to those stipulations. And if the stipulations aren't too ridiculous, I think it is ducking. Pacquiao would then face Joshua Clottey instead on the 13th, and Floyd would go on to face Shane Mosley. Pacquiao beats Clottey by decision, and Floyd beats Mosley by decision. Half a year after the initial negotiations fell through, Pacquiao takes a U-turn and actually agrees on the 14-day blood testing. With the new stipulations, Team Pacquiao had a new offer to offer Team Mayweather. And the way they saw it, if there was no testing dispute, Floyd should be eager to take the fight. So Floyd was given a deadline to accept the deal. Top Rank was very public about this and even gave a countdown on their public website. However, one thing that needs to be considered in this situation is that Bob Arum never disclosed the actual conditions of the contracts.
Their first meeting carried plenty of controversy, especially with Manny's shoulder injury. Many still argue that a healthy Pacquiao could have beaten Mayweather that night. Now, with Manny looking rejuvenated, speculation grows that Floyd avoids a rematch to protect his image. This isn't just about another fight. It's about safeguarding a reputation built over decades. For Mayweather, the real risk isn't only losing in the ring, but losing the aura of untouchable greatness he spent his entire career defending.
A steroid creation? Does he look like some mini Schwarzenegger? Well, I can give you any other thing that steroid can do, but not natural hand quickness. So if you're right about how Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive tactician in the history of boxing, what should he care about how ripped or big the head is of Manny Pacquiao? Pretty boy Floyd is worried that for the first time in his career, he is going to get hit and hit and hit. He's going to get cut. He's going to get hurt. He is scared to
Pacquiao's battle with Barrios was viewed as a make-or-break moment. A win might have launched him into another blockbuster bout, possibly against Floyd Mayweather. But the fight ended in a draw, complicating the path forward. Still, insiders insist the result hasn't derailed rematch discussions. This was never just about records. It was about the excitement Manny brought. His relentless style, stamina, and heart convinced many that he still has huge fights left. And in boxing, fan demand often outweighs official scorecards.
So there's conversation going around that a Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao rematch is in the works if Pacquiao beats Barrios. And I want to ask y'all, do y'all want to see a rematch between these two? For me personally, fuck no. No. The first fight was boring. So just imagine this fight. They're even older now. And their first fight, I feel like it took too long for them to finally fight each other. Right? I feel like Floyd kind of dragged that shit out and caught Manny at a point in time where, you know, they both wasn't dead in their prime anymore, right? They still were great fighters, don't get me wrong, but they wasn't both dead in their prime. I feel like they should have fought dead in their prime against each other. But absolutely not. I don't want to see that. I know they say, oh, it can generate billions. Nah. I mean, people will tune in just because it's Floyd and Manny Pacquiao. But I'm going to be honest, I don't want to see that shit. No.
When Pacquiao entered the ring against Barrios, expectations were low. After years away, most believed he would struggle. Instead, Manny surprised everyone. His crisp combinations landed with accuracy. His movement was slick, and his footwork looked sharp. Commentators who once doubted him began praising him. That performance didn't just prove he still belongs. It reignited fan excitement for a return to boxing's biggest stage. Even in his 40s, Pacquiao reminded the world that he remains among the elite.
Let's talk about the Manny Pacquiao fight. Manny Pacquiao, the Boxing Hall of Famer, 46 years old, inactive for nearly 4 years. His attempt to win a welterweight title came up just short, fighting to a draw against Mario Barrios. That wasn't the old Manny Pacquiao that we saw in the ring against Barrios. It was a lot better than what people were expecting, including me. What did you think of what you saw from Pacquiao? 46 years old, back in the ring for the first time since 2021.
Including you and me, we watched that fight together, and we were shocked. The fact that he went past the 5th, the 6th, the 7th round, and
got better too. Yeah,
he still had the bounce on his leg. Of course, it was flashes of the great Manny Pacquiao, but he was doing it against a young, strong, hungry, motivated champion in Barrios, and Barrios he was never in front of a old man, put it that way. He wasn't in front of a 46-year-old. It looked like he was in front of a guy that was in his mid-30s, in Manny Pacquiao. And at 46 years old, to keep that fight as competitive all the way to the end, where a lot of people felt that he won, including myself, it's incredible. It really is incredible. And the fact that he was out of the ring so much, forget the age, the inactivity hits you harder when you're that old than actual, Father Nature. That is amazing. That is incredible. That reminds me of like Sugar Ray Leonard when he was out of the ring for 3 years and came back for Marvin Hagler. But Ray Leonard wasn't no 46 years old. Pacquiao needs his legs to be explosive. That's how he made a career. That's how he became an A-division champion, an all-time great. And he still has the little bounce on his legs, man. So credit to those big-ass calves that Manny Pacquiao has, because he showed signs of greatness, man. And it was great to see that, but the judges didn't give it to him.
The debate over legacy continues to divide fans. Mayweather supporters lean on his unbeaten record and defensive brilliance. Pacquiao's fans point to his historic 8-division conquest and fearless attitude toward any opponent. It's perfection versus risk-taking. In 2024, reports surfaced that both camps were close to finalizing terms for a rematch. The boxing world buzzed with anticipation, but negotiations fell apart quietly. Some blamed money. Others pointed to Floyd's hesitation. Either way, the disappointment was huge. Now, Pacquiao's comeback has reignited hope. If a rematch happens, it could finally deliver the closure boxing has craved for years.
Fam, do you see they're doing the Pacquiao rematch?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
This
bro.
guy-
I was
bro.
about to say that. They announced it, and all the fans were like,
weirdest way, bro. It's like, yo, they didn't even know. It's like they didn't know if they actually meant to announce it or not.
this is
or
what I'm
like
saying.
that fight's actually happening.
I heard in the comments that they announced it in like Chinese or something before, and then the crowd
this
went
is in
crazy.
Japan, right, or
Yeah,
something?
in their
Oh.
language they announced it, and then they went crazy, and then they did it in English, and then like that was with silence.
That makes it because yo, Manny Pacquiao said it's like no one cared. I was like, bro, are we like hearing
Like,
the same thing? Fam?
people
Like,
are
the
sa-
man just said he's fighting Floyd Mayweather, and no one cared. Everyone's like, okay, like hand over the mic, dog. Like, like bro, it's
people are
like
saying
massive.
that. They're saying that, or they're saying, oh, like where they were, it's like culture to not like make noise during stuff like
Nah,
this.
bro,
Like, it's a
you know
respectful
the
thing.
fans that Manny Pacquiao has and stuff, bro. If he's announcing that fight, you know these guys are going off.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, because this story is far from over. Until next time,